Well, as the joke goes, I must have an iron deficiency because I keep bringing more of it home. I saw this machine at an auction online. The photograph of it was pretty poor, and the description was even worse. So, of course, I had to place a bid on it. It was a low bid, but I placed a bid on it. And it's probably safe to say that that poor photograph and that poor listing probably kept other bidders from wanting to risk anything on it. So I guess I was feeling a little adventurous, and I kind of felt sorry for it. It looked so sad in that picture. Somebody needed to give it a home. Well, and this is what it turned out to be, a 13-inch South Bend lathe. And if you've been following my channel for a little while, you probably know that I already have a 13-inch South Bend lathe. And I honestly didn't know that it was a 13-inch lathe when I placed the bid, and I also didn't know that it was about 20 years newer than mine. The double tumbler gearbox was one clue, but the serial number I had traced by Grizzly, and it looks like this was made in March of 1960. The buyer was the Reynolds Machinery Company out of Cleveland, and they're still in business. I'm going to contact them and see if they have any sales records from when they sold this lathe. And like I said, this is a 13-inch South Bend lathe, double tumbler gearbox. It is wired currently for 220 volts, three-phase. I like the double tumbler setup because it's a little bit easier to change feeds, plus they have a tendency to run quieter. This one has the 1.5-inch spindle bore. There's this 3-jaw chuck mounted on it right now. There's a pretty cheap quick change tool post mounted on it, but I do like this newer apron because it uses a lever for the power feed engagement rather than the star dial that is on my current lathe. There were a number of other bits that were either on or underneath the lathe that were included in the auction. There was this South Bend 4-jaw chuck, as well as this little 6-inch Cushman. And in this box is a live center, some tool holders, the backing plate for that 4-jaw chuck, and a couple of other different style tool posts. And there was also this drawbar for 5C collets. I verified that the motor was indeed wired for low voltage and put a plug on the end of the cable and hooked it up to the rotary phase converter. The motor runs pretty quiet, but honestly, I think it's running a little bit slow for what I was expecting. And if I engage the power feed, the motor seems to bog down quite a bit. That's probably something I'm going to have to get addressed. When I picked up the machine, the previous owner had said it had been wired for 480, but that didn't jive with what was on the data plate as well as how it was actually wired. But he also said he hadn't ran it in 20 years, so he may have just been mistaken. I was also happy to see that the 3-jaw chuck seems like it's a pretty nice one. Not only are the jaws reversible, but this has that true set feature where it's got 4 screws that you can use to dial in concentricity. Both of the stud gears are present, as well as all of the gears seem to have their teeth. I did run through all of the different gears on the quick change gearbox and didn't seem to run into any problems. It makes a little more noise when running in reverse. Still got a leather belt, which I actually prefer over the rubber ones. I kind of like that rhythmic click, click, click from the belt lacing. The half nuts engage the lead screw just fine, although I think there might be some issue with the lockout because I was able to engage that when I shouldn't have been. I should only be able to engage the half nuts when that power feed selector lever is in the middle position. But for now, this is going to stay wrapped up under a tarp. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep it. I have many options. I could sell it as is. I could clean it up and sell it. I could do a full restoration and keep it or sell it. I don't know. You tell me what I should do. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you would do if you got this lathe. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.